Mhm. Hello, everyone. This is Barbara Iris Alsue from Parental World Knowledge. I want to welcome you here. We're going to be doing scrapbooking again, and I'm so glad that we got on the air. It was a little difficult, but I didn't give up. I keep trying. At any rate, I hope that you have your scrapbooks. And if not, go to a stationery store when you can. We're going to continue doing scrapbooking for a while. And what you're going to need is the basic scrapbook. This size is good. You don't have to have a real big one. And I always recommend that if you can, have one that has lines to it, because this way it's great. You can write things in. You could also, when you're going to put your letters, you have a little bit, lines to know your exact sizes. You won't have to keep measuring. It's a nuisance without having the lines. And you can get your pictures straight too, because you can put it right on the lines. It makes it so easy. And then if you had one that you have to slide in, well, make sure you cut it a lot before you get it in. This way you're just gluing it in the book. And, I find I like this really better. I mean, the only good thing is about sliding in, you can always change it. But I pretty much set, what I want to do. I have, laid it out and, before I start. So that's what you really need to do. Although I did find some pictures that my father had in his room. So, I did have to add some. He passed away, and he was, I guess, looking at them in his room for a while there, and I didn't even know that, he had, so many years. Must have been a number of years. It wasn't just recent. He was looking at them for a while. And, so there's so many pictures that I found over the years. But on the whole, we kept everything in one place, and I've always had them in books, and I kept it neat. So my suggestion, please try to get your pictures in as soon as possible before they start getting wrinkled and torn and worn away. And that's the most important thing. And then if you center your pictures, you can always just put things on the side. That's how scrapbooking is. You just basically, you want to center your picture. You see how that's centered in there. And then you can put, stickers or lettering. You can get, in the dollar store. I bought, stickers for $1. I bought my letters and numbers for $1. It was all on one sheet, the letters and numbers. And you don't have to spend a fortune for scrapbooking. It's called scrapbooking because you're going to use scrapbook things that you have at home. You're going to have scraps, like this came from a card, and it's so cute with the baby shoes. The ribbon came from a card, so I added that. The background came from another card, so I added that. So see, this is what scrapbooking is about. Just use your scraps from old cards, from old magazines, anything that you have that's flat and that you can use. I've used bookmarks. Boxes, even boxes from cards. You could utilize this and put the butterflies and things and the daisies. I love daisies. So you could cut up the box. I save everything. I save buttons in my sewing box. So now I have for my scrapbooking, the great thing to do is to get a box. Just if you have a shoe box even. This happens to be someone that gave me a scrapbook. It came with a box. But you could even take a shoe box and just put all the things that you need to work to it. I had this scrapbook I made for my son, and he loved bugs, and I put on the front, there's little, ladybugs and different fireflies and all that, and dragonflies. And he liked also, when he's a little boy, the Mickey Mouse and Donald Ducks. I have a picture in the back. So, you put your theme. I put David Elsew's photo album, because that's what this is. And you just put your theme on the book, too. Besides the pictures, you need to put your theme. So if it's cooking, you put cooking recipes. Or if it's a particular kind of a cooking, you could put like Italian cooking or whatever, mom's favorite recipes if it came from your mom. You can do anything you want with your book. But the thing is, think of a theme and then put the best picture. If you're making this for someone, like I made this for my son, so I put the things that he liked, and he was impressed. He liked the things that I put in here. So we're going to continue. I had been showing you how to do this is fence outlining. So you could like a picket fence. You just make it just like a fence would look. You can put your lettering. So I'm going to continue. Them labeled, it makes it pretty easy. I can put it in order. I had one in there already, and this one is skateboarding. And he did like skateboarding too when he was at that age. Now he doesn't so much, do that, but he loved it at this time. He still likes the biking, which I just showed a picture of. And, so I'm going to put this also in the book because he really loved it at the time. I bought him so many nice skateboards, and people gave us some too as gifts. But he really liked skateboarding. That was, I guess then, that was the hot thing. Now it's bikes again. Bikes, he's into bikes. He's in his early 20s and he loves biking. So, I'm so happy that he's going to keep himself healthy and active. Because even in the 20s, kids, today, if you're just sitting sedentary and not at a desk, and that's what he is. He's an architect, so he's mostly at his desk. It's not too good. You need to keep yourself active. So I'm so happy he bought a bike, and I've said it's in an earlier show, for $150, and that's brand new mountain bike. Terrific deal. So keep yourself active, kids and young adults, for exercise, and biking is a great thing. So I'm going to be putting in now some more things for his camp. And I have more camp cutouts. I could also, this is a little bit different than the one I had. Whoops. I can put this one. See, from the cards, they came with the pictures, and these frames, they have like also on the outside of the frame here's the frame in here, but here's just the name of the camp. So I'm going to cut that out, and that's what you should do. You have any of these pictures, whether it be school or whether it be sports or camp, this is great. Cut the frames and put the the title, whatever it is, if it's soccer or whatever the sport is, and that's what scrapbooking is about. You have to label things. So I don't have to print this now. I can just do this on my own. And I'm trying to get one of my scissors. Got all my things here, supplies. I got this at the dollar store. See, for $1, you can get $1 great scissor. You need a good scissor, and you need glue sticks. Or if you can get Elmer's glue, which is always lasting. I've had it for years, and it's still working and sticking. So scrapbooking doesn't cost much, and it's great for men and women. Everybody should have a scrapbook. I mean, to go back in time, and it cheers you up. It cheers me looking at all these great pictures and making it. It's fun. So whether you're a guy or you're a girl, please just try it. Besides watching me, just try making one. They're fun, and they're fun to give as gifts. You know, you could give someone as a gift for, instead of buying an expensive birthday gift, this is lovely. You buy a nice scrapbook, and if giving as a gift for a birthday or something, you could get a little bit bigger one and make it really nice for them. You know, you're sharing your friendship with somebody, and pictures that you had together. I mean, this really is nice. And at the party, you could even take a camera with you and take some more pictures and then include it into the scrapbook. So it's a really nice gift to give somebody, or even to buy a scrapbook for somebody and have like all the stickers and things. You could give that as a gift. That makes a lovely gift, instead of just buying things that people don't even need. I mean, why buy things that people don't need, So this way, it's a practical gift. Buy a scrapbook and some of the nice things at the dollar store, little kit. Have like a little kit. You can just, like I said, buy the stickers, buy the stick-on numbers and letters, and you can also have some magic markers, because when, like I just showed you, I just did some lettering. And with the scrapbook, I mean, some of them do come in a box too, which is kind of nice if you're giving it as a gift. Like this set, this was beautiful. This had the full scrapbook, and I'll show you. If you're going to give it as a gift, this is lovely to get. And I'm really happy someone just gave me this. This beautiful book, see? And then it had inside, voila, another little book, 2 books, and that big box. So isn't that a nice gift to give somebody, instead of wasting it on something they don't even need? There's so many lovely gifts, with scrapbooking that you could give. I go in a stationery store. I had a ball going in the stationery store and looking for all these scrapbooks. And especially young people, they're going to be off for the summer now, and it keeps them busy. They need to keep, doing things to stay out of trouble, young kids. So it's a good thing to give a scrapbook to a young person too, to a teenager, So which I like. I really like making scrapbooks. Just to me, I think this is one of the most fun things you could possibly do in art. And I wish I knew about this, when I was a kid. I never did a scrapbook when I was a kid. My first scrapbook is now. This is the first one I ever made, was this one. And my son was so amazed that I made it so, well. And I just kept reading and reading and researching what to do, because I was asked to do it at Short Hills Macy's to show scrapbooking. demonstrated at Short Hills Macy's in New Jersey. And, you know, really you have to do the best demonstration in Short Hills, New Jersey. So I wanted to. They're a very elite store. And they were impressed. They had people that from their sales team that were experts at doing scrapbooking, and they said that I did it to an expert level. So this was my first, and I'm happy that I was able to do so well. And it's like I said, it's so much fun. It just took a little bit of research. I did go to some bookstores, and I was looking to see about scrapbooking, and I noticed there were a lot of magazines with scrapbooking ideas. So that's a good place to go, and it doesn't cost anything to look through the magazines. And then also I saw something that came in the mail for scrapbooking, and so I was able to get some information. You probably could, do the same. If you ever see anything that says that they'll send you something free, and it is free, there was no cost. And then I thought, gee, another thing would be, if I'm going to teach this, a calligraphy book. So I've got that too. So I got some sheets to show, this shows like step to step how to do, because I'm teaching it. I have to have something to show somebody. So it shows you step to step, and it shows you like you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So I've showed this in earlier shows, but in case you just tuned in and you never saw scrapbooking, I just wanted you to know. So you can really, truly make this so easy by having tools with you of, go to a magazine store, a bookstore, and read some things. And then in addition, you could even go to the library and take a book out on scrapbooking. It's free. You have membership in the library. Why not? Why not take advantage? And scrapbooking is definitely a wonderful art. And I just wish I knew about it earlier, how much fun it was. I would have been doing this years ago. When you're putting the glue on, just don't put too much. You can always add more to the edges later. And anybody wants to come to our studio to have a live free scrapbooking lesson, give us a call, 973-736-1637. One-on-one sometimes is easier than watching, and we'll be more than happy to, and even let you have our supplies here. You'll have access to our magazines and our stickers and all that. So you just bring your scrapbook, and you can have access to all our markers, everything that we have here. And I do have a full basket. Besides that little basket I just showed you, and I was taking things out, I have a full basket. Look at all the stuff that I have. Goodies. So I have a lot of scrapbooking things. So give us a call. Get a free lesson on scrapbooking on air, Google Hangouts, and YouTube. And that's 973-736-1637. Love to have you here. We're right in West Orange, New Jersey. Easy to find. Right off of 280, exit 7, Pleasant Valley Way in West Orange, New Jersey. You can Google Map us. Give us a call, though, before you come. And we are here 5 to 6 doing Google Hangouts Monday through Thursday. So it's every daily weekday 5 to 6. Okay, so now I have enough, I think. If I need more, I'll put more. And center it, and fortunately I have the lines here, so it's a little better than having to put it on without the lines. You don't know where to measure. You'd have to take your ruler, you have to take a pencil, be marking it. This way, so much easier with the lines. And now I'm going to put my camp thing. This is so much fun to do. It cheers me up as soon as I look at my scrapbook. No matter how, I had the worst day today, and it's just cheering me to see this, to work on this. I just found out that I have to get new homeowners insurance because my father passed away, and now we have to transfer things. So now it's going to cost for me to get the state insurance. It's over $1,600. I have to just come up with it by Thursday. So you can imagine what kind of day I had to hear that. And I just found out. Oh, gosh. So, but I'm just enjoying doing this, and it's getting my mind off it. And I'm very thankful. Very, very thankful. And I'm still waiting for insurance companies. The only one that really came through right away was Prudential. Prudential Insurance, I'd highly recommend. 5 days. 5 days. That's all it took for them to settle the claim. Everyone else, they didn't call back. They took forever when they did finally call back. And then one didn't even let me know what he was doing. He just didn't call me back for a few days, and then I said, forget it, I'm getting a different representative because mine quit, and then I'm trying to find a new one. Oh, what was going on? So this is crazy. I only one I would recommend would be the Prudential, and then my father was in the union, and they're taking care of things real fast. So I tell you, I feel for people out there, if they're going through this. I really do feel for you. I just hope that no one else is going through an experience with these insurance companies. When I was a kid, I did do a diary, and this, like I said, is like a diary. I mean, because you're putting pictures, and then you're putting your thoughts. Really have pictures and make it look so exciting with all these different colorful stickers and all. You're writing in, your thoughts. But this is like a diary, and with the benefit of the pictures. That's why it's like so much fun. I did plenty of diaries as a kid. I wrote my poetry in books, and but I didn't have this. This to me, I wish that someone introduced this to me when I was younger. This is so much more fun. So I've got now the glue on this. Put this on top, and again, center it. Wow, and it just fits. So I might need a little more glue on the sides. But that's better not to put it so much at first, because then it gets glue all over the page. It's messy. So I'd rather just pick up a little bit on the sides. I never forgot. My son once made something, a project to give the teacher when he was a little boy. He was about 5, and he wanted to give her a gift. So he put so much glue on this thing, and oh, it was getting everywhere. So, you know, I told him, look, you got to go light on your glue. I told the teacher that, you know, it's kind of wet still. So I said, just, you know, don't be touching it. Let it dry. It was so funny. But he did it himself. So that's a good thing, you know. You could see he did it himself. It was soaking wet. Now my screen is covered by a break. Well, I'm not letting this get to me because I'm so happy doing my scrapbooking. And it doesn't matter. I'm just sorry it's interrupting your picture if you can't see me. But you can hear me. So we're going to continue. I put on the, I don't think you can see what I'm doing, but I did put on the camp thing. And I'll show you. I'll move over here so maybe you can see me. Oh, there you go. You got it. You see? So I got the thing for the camp. I like that so much. Because he liked, at the time, so much with the skateboarding. My son will like seeing that. We'll remind him of it, his days doing camp. I made sure I sent him every year to camp. And then he started working at the camp. So he enjoyed it and greatly. You know, it's wonderful if you can try to send your kids to camp and, you know, save up for it, because they do appreciate it. They truly do. My son just loved it. And then he was working there when he got older, and he enjoyed it immensely. It meant a lot to him. I think I'll put some daisies because I like daisies, and I know my son, he liked flowers. And you see at camp, there were a lot of, you know, plants and flowers and things. You know what? He used to make lanyard at camp, and it was so colorful. And he made it so terrific. I never saw anything like it. He was able to make lanyard keychains and different things. You can make necklaces. You know, he made all kinds of things out of lanyard. They taught him in camp so many wonderful artistic things. And with the lanyard, I don't know if you ever saw it, but it's entwined pieces of, it's like plastic, and it's entwined, and it looks so great, like woven. When you see the Indians, how they, you know, would make things woven and everything, just so beautiful. Well, that's what he did. He made all these lanyard keychains, and I still have some in my purse that he made me. So, you know, they stay together from the time he was a little boy. He was doing it from age, I couldn't even believe it. From like 7, he was doing it, and it lasted all those years. So see, the kids, they learned so much. He learned acrobatics, learned every sport, and then he excelled. He was in 3 varsity sports in high school. So, it definitely camp did his body good. Like they say, so. They even had like a rock wall, the kids could climb up. They never got hurt at the camp. It was just really always safe and just wonderful. And that was Camp Deanie Rebeck where he went. If your kids want to go in New Jersey somewhere, fantastic. It's very quiet there, and everybody's welcome, all nationalities. And I've said that before. And I want to say hi to Ernesto. He sent me a note. I haven't been able to respond because we were already starting to air when I saw it. I hope you're well, Ernesto. If anybody else contacted me I'm not aware of, I haven't had a chance to stop and look. It was hard trying to get on the air. The best time to contact me is not during the show. Would be best time. I mean, I'm glad you're watching, but I mean, if I'm getting a message, I really can't contact you back. It would have to be prior to the show. We start at 5, so you'd have to contact me. Oh, I guess maybe at 4 or so that I can maybe talk to you. But at this point, this was like at 5 when I first saw it. It was almost 5 when I saw the note, so I couldn't write you, Anista. If you did do it earlier, I'm sorry I didn't see it. I was busy with the insurance company today, as I said. But when I first saw it, it was at almost 5. But anyone can always contact me. More than happy to give lessons to people on the air, and just come 973-736-1637. Give us a call first to have an appointment, and come to our studio. I'm cutting out those daisies that I want to show you. Taking a while because there's a lot of daisies there, but I think it looks nice. And my son, like I said, did like flowers, and at that age, definitely he was a little boy at that time. It was about that picture, I guess he was about 7, and he did like the flowers at the camp. I was watching today a webinar from small business, and most of it I liked. Uh, it was giving advice on how to do interviews with the press, and it had a lot of valid things. Oh, I do have to disagree. It said not to thank the people because you don't really have much time on the air. Your host. And I was taught by my family always thank. And it just takes a few seconds. So I have to disagree with that. That I have to say, that was definitely not good advice. You need to thank people. And I thank you for watching me. I thank you every day. I'm thanking you, just said a little while ago, and I so thankful. And you need to always be thankful. If someone's interviewing you, taking the time, and especially if it's on live TV. I've been on live TV. I've been on all the national, TV goes across or even across the world. And I've been on radio stations too that go across the world. I'm always thankful. I would always thank my host. I was on Channel 9. I was on WR Radio. I was on Blog Talk Radio. I've always thanked my host, and I will always, if I was also with many other, talking on WNEW radio, I always would thank my host. I can't understand, not thanking your host. And I've dealt with celebrities that were superstars, and I thank them. I thank them if, I was interviewing them. I would be so grateful that they would give me that opportunity. And I don't see how taking a few seconds to be told not to do that is, to me, it's not the right thing. Definitely you should be thankful for a few seconds. Just thank your host. I just have to definitely state that I wouldn't want somebody to do that on the air. That would be horrible, that you didn't thank your host, and just to go on a major show like that. I've met Joe Franklin. I've met so many wonderful people, and I thank them for allowing me. I met Mr. George Francis, and his daughter is Connie Francis. He introduced me to her, a superstar, and that was many years ago. And Dick Clark, he introduced me to. I was so thankful. I mean, I told him I was thankful, and you need to say, and I wasn't on TV at the time, but I was just in his home in West Orange. But I am so thankful they introduced me, and the valuable information that I learned from Dick Clark. He said, just be yourself. That was the first time I was just breaking into entertainment. And I've always been myself, and I just, don't pretend I'm anybody else. I'm just me. And, I listened to that advice, and, it's the best advice I ever received. My first time meeting a big superstar, and I do feel he was a superstar, Dick Clark. Maybe he, wasn't an entertainer in the sorts of other than MC, but he was a superstar. He rocked. He was super to me. He was the best in the business for interviewing, celebrity superstars, and he just was a class act, the best in the world. And I was so happy that I met him. And when at the time I did meet him, he was a superstar. He was, doing great with his show, the Dick Clark Show, and he was just so handsome and so personable. And I just never forgot that. And I thanked Mr. Francis introducing me. I thanked him for taking the time to talk to me. And I will continue always being myself and being humble and thanking people. So please, people, if you heard that small business thing, still thank your hosts. Take the time, a few seconds. You know, that was the only advice I didn't like. I did like the advice, like if you had a bad host and they said you still should um, end it in a amicable way. Don't argue with them, and just in that case they said thank the person. I mean, I don't know why they couldn't say thank the host for letting you be on the show, but they said thank the person for letting you do the interview, even if it was a terrible interview, just to show that you're a big enough person. So that was good advice, but not to say, not to say that take a few seconds to thank your host. Yay, that is not good. All right, so that was my only comment, that what they said everything else right. They said to be explicit. It was very good. Make sure that it's memorable, the things that you say. I liked everything else, but that you have to do. You have to be humble and thank your host. I don't care who you are. If you're a superstar and you go on a show, you thank your host. That's just being polite. And what I was brought up on, and I'm sure everybody else has that information. And don't forget it. Your parents, they know to thank people, to be gracious. If I go to a party, I thank somebody. I thank them that they invited me, and I thank the host. That's what you need to do. You go to somebody's home, you say, gee, you have a lovely home, and you thank them. And I thank them before I leave. I'm always gracious to thank somebody. So you need to thank your host no matter what. uh, a party, I have to teach your children too to thank a host for a birthday party. That's a nice thing to do. You can't just, think everything's coming to you and not have to thank somebody. That is wrong. Yeah, he's always polite. He would thank somebody. And he's invited to all the parties. He has more parties than I can imagine to this day than I've ever saw anybody. And it shows you thanking your host. You get invited back, and they are cheering when he comes to a party. They go, oh, look, David's here. So that's the way to be. Be thankful. You want to be invited to all the parties. You want to, you know, be the cheer of the party. You thank your host. Then I've cut it out, and it took a while, but now I can put that on the side. And I could either side I can put it. I think I like it on that side, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I'll put it there. And I'll just put it the other direction so it looks better. You know, and during the summer, he gets invited to like a dozen different barbecues. So it does pay to thank your host. You know, be gracious. He has a ball during the summer. And he does anything for people, you know, that's another thing. I'm that way too. I'll always be open to help anybody. If anybody needs advice, I give free advice. I'm always offering even my service. Like somebody said to me that their daughter, she didn't get married, and you know, she feels she wants her daughter to get married. And I said, look, you tell her, I'll even cook, you know, at her wedding. We'll have a backyard wedding, and I'll even cook. I'll help you cook. So she said, really? I said, yeah. I said, because she couldn't afford to do a big wedding. You know, I know that she didn't make that kind of money, and daughter doesn't make that kind of money. And so I offered. It just pays to be nice to people. You can't just think what's in it for me, that attitude. You have to. So it's not just me thanking people. I really truly do want to help people, and I do. So that's how I raised my son. So that's the way to be. And it makes me feel good to do things. My family always was like that. That's how they raised me. Put a little more, and then I'll put it on. I just want to be sure it has enough. Gotta check my time. I pray a miraculous healing prayer for anyone who needs it. I hope you don't, but if you do, and pray for peace, good health, spirit, and strength for everyone in the world. And God heals 100%. I just say the prayer. And we'll be back tomorrow, again at 5. Just adding a little bit to the edges because they're sticking up still a little bit. I didn't want to put too much because then it gets the glue all over the page. Okay. And I'm going to put like, this is a great book. This one had 1,000 stickers. It was $1. I was really lucky to get this. Let's see if I can find. Oh yeah, I got some good ones. I have a beach ball because he played ball at camp. It was like having a ball. And I have some of my candies. Somewhere they give him some good healthy candy. Let's see if I could find it. Oh, peppermint. Yeah, there is. That's what I like. Okay. So I finished up with this page. There you go. I put the daisies on the side. I put the ball, the candy, and like a little present because it was when he was 7. And we'll continue tomorrow. So hopefully you have your scrapbook and your pictures, get your pictures together for whatever you want to make. And if you are cooking something and you don't have necessarily a camera with pictures, you could even take from magazines pictures of what you're making. That's good too. So home arts, different things, so they even have some scrapbooking ideas, which, it's great too. It shows you, like, they have a picture of flowers and then they have a frame around it. So there's some wonderful things that you can do in scrapbooking if you look in some of the magazines, as I said before. And a lot of these crafts, they show you how to make them too in the book itself. I love these. They're showing you fancy stockings for the holidays. If you want to do a holiday theme, it's showing you how to make. It's a good book, very good book. I like this magazine. And if you're into fashion, look at this, is good for scrapbooking. It shows you, has a picture of something they designed, and then they have written on there, what a little note. So that's adorable. See how they put the flowers and everything. These are great magazines. They give you good ideas. And like I said, I have all this in my studio. I have tons of magazines and things that you can use. So give us a call, 973-736-1637. And if you'd rather not be on the air, you can have a private lesson if you donate to our organization. I'm, Barbara Alsu, president of Artist Barbara Alsu Fine Art Studio. I'm the one who gives all the lessons here mostly. And for a $5 donation, 50% goes to us and 50% goes to Epilepsy Foundation for Shop for a Cause. Give us a call. You can get a lesson for $5 donation. You also can get one of our antique bracelets or pieces of jewelry while it lasts. And in addition, you're eligible for an oil painting that I painted. It's called Good Life. It's on Facebook. It's on Twitter. It's on LinkedIn. So you could check it. Macy $5 donation. You get all that and 25% off all Macy's stores that day. So you can go to more than one in your state, go out of state, and it's superb for 25% off most sale items, even for designer. So you can't beat that. So you keep the coupon so that you have it in your wallet to use, and you turn in the day of the event the $500 gift certificate entry. So any Macy's store. All right, well, I thank you so much, and you just have a wonderful night if it's night by you, or a wonderful day. And I appreciate that you did tune in to us, and we'll see you tomorrow.